Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. I am LaBrittney Meadow, your favorite mental health and wealth coach. I love to help women create a life of mental clarity and financial freedom. In today's video, we are going to discuss a very controversial topic, and that is suicidal thoughts. As a suicide survivor, I know how touchy this topic can be. And for that reason, I want to lay it all out on the table and really show my perspective of how I overcame such a taboo moment in my life. I truly did experience an existential crisis, and it has really morphed me into this phenomenal, empowering Black woman I am today. So, if you're interested in seeing how I changed my life, stay tuned for the rest of the video. In my mid-20s, I was struggling with seizures, which were triggered by severe migraines. These uncontrollable migraines would last for days, weeks. It literally felt like months on end. I would have to keep myself locked in my room, very dark and cool. The face closed, like nothing would work. As far as like over-the-counter prescriptions or anything like that. I tried prescription drugs also for my migraines, and to be honest, they would take the edge off my headache and allow me to like get rest, but I realized it only made me functioning. I would be functioning out of pain. Whenever I would drop for the day, I would be extremely exhausted. Sometimes I would sleep for 14, 16 hours straight once I would finally get rest after I would experience a really bad migraine. From that point, I would begin having seizures. My seizures went undiagnosed for a long time because when you're young and you're a single mom, it's like I don't have time to go to the doctor. Like, I gotta get it, I got bills to pay, I got kids to raise, I got plans. So for a while my health did take a back seat, so I cannot blame that on anyone other than myself. But this is something I have learned, and it's something that I most definitely do not believe or practice in. Today I'm just like obsessive with my self-care at this point. Like, it's the cutest thing ever. But experiencing these migraines and seizures left me in a real debilitating state. I most definitely wasn't myself. I love my children, my boys, my daughter. I miss a lot of things revolving around them. I stopped going to like school functions and plays, even parent teacher conferences. I stopped being around my family and what friends I did have. My sons have played every sport since the age of 2, and I literally miss seasons out of their life. And when you have two super active little boys who play sports year round, that's a lot of pictures, home endings, touchdowns, field goals, whatever we calling these things right now. But I missed a lot of that, and I have a lot of making up to do. I know that will never take back the time that they didn't have with me, but you got to get it how you live. I'm out here hustling, doing this entrepreneur thing, so we're gonna be sitting on somebody's beach enjoying life even more because it's good now too. So to relieve myself of the pain, I did take prescription drugs. I've taken so many, I honestly cannot even remember. My last 2 that I were on, that these did give me a lot of relief. I'm not going to say that they did not. I did find a lot of relief. I was on topiramate and trazodone for a while. They did really good. They got the job done, but I mean, it's big farm at the end of the day. So, I was trading off, my sanity just to be, just a little bit functioning in today's world, just, so I could try to be there for my kids. But doing that, I also made a very, very, I can't even say how many varies important this decision was that I would be beyond pharmaceutical drugs. I would not spend the rest of my life taking prescription drugs, to deal with this body that I had, because, you only get one, and I'm not accepting of the state. It's getting better, but the state it was in, I couldn't do that. So I did take prescription drugs. That, like I said, they did take the edge off. They did allow me to function, but of course they have a lot of side effects. I was about 25, 26, and I was on about a 7-pill regimen at one time. I mean, I had the double-sided 7-day week pill organizer and cutter. I would go pick up my prescriptions, get them refilled about twice a month, because, sometimes you got to take a lot of stuff. But I would organize my pills. I had my water beside my bed. Like, y'all, I felt so old and so ashamed. Yes, the ashamed that I felt did come from the fact that that was something that I really, other than I didn't like it, I didn't want it. I felt like I deserved better in my life, which was, I'm glad I felt that way. But when you're on pharmaceutical drugs and they have really big side effects and you're experimenting with lots of, I was swapping them bad boys out every visit, trying something new, MRIs, like EKGs, you name it. Diets. I was going anywhere from Charlotte, North Carolina, all the way down to Columbia. I was over in Monroe. Nobody could tell me what was wrong with me, because now I know that it was my mind trying to wake up. Like, my body was like, girl, shake these toxins out, let this stuff go. Something I can say for me was that when I would experience my really bad migraines, even though my head would hurt to the point I would want to shoot it off myself, it was the most quietest sound. Even though I had a woodpecker that would sit on my temple, overall I can say it's a sharp, quiet, deadly sound that I would have in between my ears. And when I would have a seizure, I would have a complete outer body experience. I can remember, watching my fiance just be over my body, trying to get me to wake up, roll me over, just bring me back to life. And I would just be looking at him like, really, really, this is what we're doing today. And I don't know why I used to look at him like that, like it was his fault. And in reality, he over here saving my whole life. But I'm just like, what am I doing outside of my body? It took me about my 3rd or 4th seizure to realize that I was having outer body experiences, but I had no idea what that meant, what to do with it. Because of the drugs I was on, my mind could not grasp what was happening. I was literally stuck, just there. I didn't know why was I given this opportunity to see myself. That's not something that we necessarily get outside of a mirror. A lot of us never get to step outside of our physical body and really live in the spiritual physical part. A lot of us don't get that. Now that I've started experiencing these outer body experiences, I'm really trying to figure out how to get off of prescription medicine. I know that if I can control my mind, I would be a lot happier. I could experience life better. I could do more in my life. And, all in all, that rolls over to being happy. So I began to wonder and think, how can I, let these drugs go? How can I do it by myself? How can I stop having these obsessive suicidal thoughts that I had been secretly having for years and not really talking to anyone about it? When you have changes in your life that are drastic, such as, a loss or financial hardship or medical conditions, you can kind of see the worst in everything, you lose the light at the end of the tunnel for a little bit. And that's what I'm all about, encouraging women to, even though the odds are stacked against you and you want to stop seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, never stop looking for it. It'll always be there. We are Black women. We are literally the creators of life. From the darkness comes the light. We bear the light into the world through our womb. And sometimes we forget that. It sounds nice and, oh, you being deep. Yeah, but it's real. Like, most of all, it's facts. It gets muddled out in today's society with all the chaos that we are going through, but it's the facts. So as I begin to sit down and really look over my life and figure out who I am, how can I change, what has worked for other people, to heal and grow. And a lot of it just pointed to a lot of holistic things that I already subconsciously wanted to try and experiment a little bit with. Began doing yoga again. I hadn't done yoga probably since I was pregnant with McKinley, and Ken is 8 now, so that's a long time. I began fasting regularly to help purify my body, to help calm my mind. So when I would begin to do meditations, I could calm my mind myself instead of it being like a rushing tidal wave and you're like a little kid in the middle of the ocean panicking like, I'm gonna drown, the water's coming, oh my God, I can't swim, I can't breathe, what am I gonna do? And it's like, if I breathe now, it'll all be over. It'll all be okay, because the energy I possess inside of me is the energy that is coming at me full throttle. So, in order for me to get to that point, I began with the most simplest thing I knew how to do. I counted my blessings. That was literally the only thing I knew to do to help calm my mind and be happy, because I had everything I ever wanted in life. I have an amazing fiance. I have 3 gorgeous children. I have a successful brand and blog. I have amazing people who love and support me no matter what it is. And I just wasn't happy. None of that was working for me anymore. The fact that I had spent a year and some change on this self-discovery journey, writing books, like I went full throttle, taking e-courses, just reworking my life. And 3 days after I turned 27, they all came flooding back like a storm. And I realized that time it wasn't anything I necessarily did wrong. I just wasn't prepared for the test. And the test was I afraid of my success, of my awesomeness, my superpower, all this amazing yum over here I got to share with the world? Was I really ready to be seen and to be heard? And for a moment, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to be seen. I most definitely didn't want to be heard. That's why we sitting over here doing this voiceover now versus me being on camera. But we got to start somewhere. Sometimes you just feel like giving up, and it's never okay to give up. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to want to break. It's okay to even rest. Yes, it's okay to rest. But at any time you ever feel like giving up and those thoughts become overwhelming and intrusive and possessive and very much real, when you see your life ending before your own eyes and you are the one that is doing it, low-key, do you know how traumatizing it is? But I digress. We live, we learn. It's really that easy. Once you make the decision you want to live, once you make the decision that once it's over, like, So, in order to really gain control of my mind and shift my mindset, I began focusing on how to be more mindful. Now that I was more grateful, now that I could sit and count my blessings and calm my mind and actually be able to hear myself breathe and feel the air flowing through me, I could hear what it was that God, the divine universe, was giving me and was saying to me. And from that flowed a lot of great blessings into my life. Keeping my vibration high was something that I had to learn to do, as well as keeping my energy pure. And just, you have to be on high vibes. Do you hear me? No, I ain't gonna say no matter how you got there, because we do got some bad highs. But y'all know we like it all organic and natural over here at Foster's Farm. So our herbs are good. But and see how once you keep the vibes high, it's really about just pushing that momentum all the way through and getting yourself together. So in my process of getting myself together, I learned that there were a lot of Black and brown women, just like myself. Yes, millennial women who were suffering with this. I remember one particular therapy appointment I had, and I saw a few of my classmates, and later on I found out that they all had some sort of, I don't want to say a mental problem, because we beyond that, but they had something to cause them to be unsettled for a short period of time. And it's like, dang, like my people hurting, like I see you. Like I read that when I saw you, because I know what I look like when I was going through it. And it's something you really do have to experience to say what it looks like. Because even all the warning signs that we'll talk about, and all the warning signs that they always tell you to look at, but you could still have the biggest freaking smile on your face and be singing happy birthday, stuffing your face with your favorite cheesecake and rolling up a fat one, and deep down you still be miserable and lonely and hurting, and you don't feel worthy of living. Sometimes we go through that. I'm here to tell you that. I keep telling you that because it's true. I don't want you to ever think that when you feel like giving up, even on the suicide end, not just, oh, I'm tired, I ain't going to work today, but like, oh, I'm tired with living. I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of being in pain, tired of being in poverty. I'm tired of being in whatever low vibrating situation you are in. I know that feeling. I know that pain, and it sucks. It hurts. It's embarrassing. It is, it can really suck up all your energy. But I want to help you move past that. I moved past it. I really had to sit down, and once I looked over my life and I found what made me happy, I found out who I was, what I really liked, what I really was about, what I really stood for. And side note, I get people saying, they don't know what it is they want or they like, which is true. Sometimes you don't know, because it is an infinite world out there. Start with what you most definitely don't want. So you don't want a broke person in your life. So let's, keep our money good so we can be in the energy of other people who have good funds. It's kind of like that. It's actually a lot like that. So, on my spiritual journey of self-discovery and higher ascension, I have run across like an abundance of light workers and starseed and indigo children who have really opened my mind and given me a wealth of knowledge that it's just sometimes it makes you want to scream and realize how indoctrinated our people are, how we are shortchanging ourselves because it was a mass program for us to fail. But that is the point of this revolution. That is why we are fighting for our place in society. We just rock, and it's time for our recognition. So we got this. I support every last Black life out there. Nobody deserves to tell you when your life should be over or when it's not of value to them. No human has that right. We are gods on this earth. We stand in that, and plus, deep down as a child, this is a secret, y'all. I used to, like, when I watched TV and you'd hear people tell stories about how they marched with Dr. King, they didn't went over and talk with Coretta and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, look at that history. So I want to make sure that I do my part, not only for myself so I can enjoy this life that I have here, but not only do my children get to live in a better world than I did, but my grandchildren and on down that line about 55 more million times, because we got to rework that. We deserve better, and that's all I'm accepting. So now that we done came off that little tangent, like I said, I met a lot of spiritual people who showed me a lot of things. In my ebook, I talk about a lot of holistic and alternative ways I use to heal and grow with myself. I got my very, very first life coach about 2 years ago. Shout out to Tara. But I got a life coach. Her name is Tara Pritchett. And she really opened my eyes. You have to have someone who sees you, and I wasn't being seen for a long time. I wasn't. And when people see you, they hear you, they can help you, and you can heal. But you have to be accepting to all of that. I know as a fire sign, sometimes we don't want to take help and advice from others, but that stubbornness sometimes can leave us without. And I want to make sure that no one gets the opportunity to fail. There's no reason why you should be not enjoying your life. Like in the words of Abraham Hicks, your life is supposed to feel good to you. And once you figure out what feels good, just magnify that 1,000 times and you'll be great. So talking to women who were like me, who had experienced the same problem with depression and anxiety, how it affected their lives so negatively, but at the same time, how they were able to grow and overcome those suicidal thoughts and depression. And it really gave a lot of great advice to me. And I'm very grateful to have spoke and worked and seen all these wonderful things and people in the world. And I just want to let my sisters out there in this world know that there are lots of natural things we can do to heal ourselves. We don't have to depend on Big Pharma to help us. Yes, Black people need therapy. We need therapy. I mean, there's no debate about it. I don't see why is it not mandatory, but we need therapy. No matter who you talk to, whether it's a licensed therapy, whether it's your cousin that give good advice, whether you get a life coach or a confidence coach or a mental health coach or whatever, find someone paid, free. The number to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is always listed on my website, on anything related. You can always Google it. You can always shoot me an email at femperiallifestyle@gmail.com. I am there. I will always be just a text or a phone call away. If you want to sit down and talk things out, you can always book a discovery call with me, and we can get you off the edge. We can get you in a state of clarity. We can get you in a state of freedom